After much criticism so far this summer, Chelsea Football Club are on an absolute landslide in trying to get deals over the line. Marc Cucurella has agreed personal terms, and the deal is believed to be absolutely imminent and a completion very, very close. Wesley Fofana is another player now heavily linked to the football club and is reportedly doing his bit both internally and externally, pushing for his move away. There's also talk of the Leipzig centre-back Guardiola, with Manchester City having had a bid rejected, but Chelsea trying to utilise Timo Werner as a make-way in that deal, and it's picking up pace today with absolute venom. Frankie de Jong to Chelsea is on. It may not be the biggest priority, but it's a deal they are focusing on. It's a deal they are looking on, and it's a deal they might strike for later on during the window. Chelsea Football Club, much maligned so far, but they look absolutely dead set to have a brilliant end to this transfer window. And it's why I said a few weeks ago, they scare me. Win everything you need to enjoy the start of the Premier League season with One Football. You can win your favorite team's brand new kit and a copy of FIFA 23. Simply click on the link in the description below, download the One Football app, and fill out this very simple form. We want your name, your email address, your favorite football club, and then predict the results of the opening weekend's Premier League games. Once this is done, click submit and you will put your name into the hat to win the football shirt of your choice, which of course is going to be your football club and a copy of the brand new FIFA 23. It is quick, it is simple, it is easy, and you can test a little bit of ball knowledge as well. It's free to enter as well. I've already mentioned that. Click on the link in the description below and check it out now. Welcome back to the Terrace, everybody. And look, Chelsea Football Club have been a team that too many people have got on their back this summer. Too many people have been panicking. Too many people have been talking as if the world was coming to this big, massive end because their deals weren't over the line now. They already signed Koulibaly. They already signed Raheem Sterling. They are about to sign Cucurella. And now there are many other options available for them. As you can see here from Adam Newsom, he is told that Wesley Fofana is doing his bit internally as well as externally, which you may have noticed, to put pressure on Leicester and Chelsea. He's keen on the move to Stamford Bridge, but Leicester are adamant they do not want to sell this summer. Something has got to give. Now, that's a hard deal to still get done. We absolutely know this. But Chelsea are not resting on their laurels. They want to bring in additional players. They want to improve things. Now, interestingly reported earlier on today was a bid of around 80 million euros that has supposedly been placed by Manchester City for Guardiola. Now, this is a man whose name has been talked up a lot, especially in recent weeks, as a player that a lot of people are interested in and that a lot of people want. Now, interestingly, Chelsea's name is now really come to fruition in this deal as well. And this very much stems from a situation involving Timo Werner. Now, Patrick Berger, as you can see here, shared by Simon Phillips, has stated that Timo Werner wants to leave Chelsea. Leipzig are pushing hard to sign him, getting him back to the club he originated from. Because there is a meeting between the clubs a few days ago. Werner is keen to join the former club and set to take a huge salary. A swap deal for Guardiola is no topic, which I think we were all kind of aware of, that was no topic there. However, the interest in the player, so swap deals are very, very rare indeed, but people have kind of read this and sort of gone, oh, well, that ends that situation. That means there's absolutely no chance that Chelsea could be looking at him or could go back in for him. And that simply isn't the case. Chelsea are open to still looking at him as a centre-back option as well. However, after an 80 million euro bid has been turned down by Manchester City. Now, we don't know the structure of that deal, how much of it is going to be paid up front. But what we do know is that it's going to be similar money to that of Wesley Fofana. Chelsea are in for both players. Chelsea are looking to get a deal for one of the two done. So they're in for both, but they're looking to sign one of them at the very least, and the price they are looking at. And again, some people are going to look at this very much as panic buying from Chelsea. And I wouldn't necessarily call it that. Man City are already linked to new left backs. Now they're looking to miss out on Cucurella. Nobody's calling that a panic buy. It's simply moving on to the next target on your list. And that's very much what Chelsea Football Club have done in terms of their centre backs. Jules Koundé was number one. Then they moved their attention to De Ligt and Koulibaly. They signed one of their new number one targets, missed out on De Ligt, went back to Koulibaly, got the deal done, pulled away themselves. He ended up then going, according to Sevilla, he ends up then at Barcelona, and they've moved on to another target now. Although it may appear messy, it's because they've been noisy. And often when you're noisy, things can appear a little bit more erratic. Almost, a lot of clubs act like Chelsea, but they're like a swan gliding across the water, but with their feet underneath going like the clappers and a million miles an hour. All you've really seen with Chelsea is them very much showing off what it is that they are doing. Now, what's very interesting as well is Chelsea's pursuit of Frankie de Jong. And I want to mention this because it's now been placed out here again, here by FF Polo. As you can see, Fernando Polo here, considered a very credible source by managing Barca, that de Jong is still refusing to join Manchester United, and he will only consider leaving for Bayern Munich or Chelsea. Now, this has been a big fear, an absolute big fear of mine throughout the course of this summer when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, when it relates to Chelsea Football Club. And that is them coming back in or coming in for a player like Frankie de Jong with that Champions League football and the pedigree of which they possess. You can see here, shared by Simon Phillips, that there's a growing belief at Chelsea an offer might go in for de Jong before the window is up, as first reported by another brilliant journalist here. As you can see, RJP Journalism is his tag, works for a lot of the Chelsea socials, plus the likes of the BBC. Tuchel believes he needs more creativity as well as physicality. We know he wants to play. We know who he wants for physicality in relation to that. Now, Frankie de Jong's name just won't leave Chelsea. They keep coming up, whether it's from Barca sources, whether it's from English sources, or whether it be from others. That's been slightly played down by others here. You can see Nathan Gissing, who has said that de Jong is not a priority for Chelsea, but they are watching his situation at Barcelona. Todd Boehly is keen on the player, and Tuchel has given his approval. And the fact that he's given his approval means that if they can get these defensive signings over the line, and there is a financial way of getting this deal done. So if your Ziyech's, your Werners, your Loftus-Cheeks, etc., are able to leave and there's enough funds freed up, they then may look at this Frankie de Jong deal. And the fact is, I believe what's being reported here. I believe that Frankie de Jong would pick Chelsea over Manchester United. I believe that Chelsea are legitimately interested in him. And I've believed all summer, unlike many others, that Chelsea are still dangerous, Chelsea are still scary, and I think people are sleeping on them because of the perceived frenetic and out of control nature of their transfer market, and because of a few poor performances in pre-season. You don't write Chelsea Football Club off. And if you look at these deals, they look like they're going to do serious business. Now, I want to give a big shout out to our title sponsors today, One Football. You can download their app now by using the link in our description below. But when you go on the landing page, as we already said at the top of this video, you have the chance of winning FIFA 23 and your favorite clubs, the team you support, essentially, football kit, jersey, whatever you call it, for this season. It's free to enter. It's very simplistic. Click on the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen right now and go and check that out. Get the One Football app downloaded as well. Brilliant content. Brilliant, keeping you up to date on scores, news, transfers, and much more. So make sure that is downloaded and you are using it. When it comes to Chelsea, though, I understand completely that people feel that they might be on the way down, moving away from the top tier they've always been at. And I believe that that is an absolute falsehood. I believe that that is an absolute nonsense. Will they end up with Fofana? Good chance. Will they end up with Guardiola? Maybe. Will they end up with Frankie de Jong? Maybe. Are they going to land Cucurella? That's an absolute guarantee. If they don't get the players that they're chasing right now, or one of them or two of them, they will move on to other targets. Chelsea are likely to spend near on £200 million this summer, and that has been consistently quoted throughout the course of this window. They are aiming at top-tier players only, either already established at the highest level or players we think can achieve that standard, i.e. your Cucurellas. They already have one of the best centre-backs, already got one of the best attackers in the world on board, and they are looking to add much more. Now, what's really intriguing was what Wesley Fofana did in terms of the external push, as shared here by Ben Jacobs, that Wesley Fofana has removed Chelsea from his bio. He does go on to say once again, clear he is very open to the move. Leicester are adamant he's not for sale. Chelsea will try, though. The problem that you have, and I will state this in terms of the Wesley Fofana situation, the reason why this deal is possible, plausible, and on is the simple fact that when a player wants to leave or when a club wants a player gone, invariably, 99 times out of 100, the deal happens. Because if the offer from Chelsea is of an adequate level, just the same with offering the right amount of money for Barca for Frankie de Jong, it turns heads. It changes things. What Leicester will not want is a situation of, yes, we might get 5 more million, 10 more million, 15 more million next year. But if Fofana's head goes, if his head turns, you don't want a player in that situation. You look at Frankie de Jong. Most people now believe that, yeah, he wouldn't mind staying at Barca, but the reason he's really pushing to stay is he wants that deferred money. If a big enough offer is made from Chelsea, if a big enough offer is made from Manchester United, he will make that move. There's no shadow of a doubt. But the reason that he will make that move is because Barca are pushing for him to leave. It works exactly the same in both directions. Brighton don't want to sell Cucurella, but they have to because the player wants to leave. Man City didn't really want to sell Raheem Sterling, but the player was open for a move and wanted a change in his life, so the deal got done. Manchester United are chasing Šeško. Now, RB Salzburg are saying we don't want to sell him. But if the player really wants to leave and starts pushing for that move, it will change things. And as we get into this last 3.5, 4 weeks of the transfer window, this is when you'll start to see players push. This is when you'll start to see players really fight to get out of their football clubs. But as I've stated for many, many weeks now, Chelsea are dangerous, Chelsea are potent, and Chelsea scare me. Just like Arsenal, I think they are going to be two sensational teams over the course of this season. They both may not start off at a million miles an hour, but they are going to achieve things. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to be very hard to beat, especially with the additional players still to come in. Listen, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Do me a big, big favor and smash that like and that share button. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon.